Battle on the Deuce, so extremely open map. Usually favors mid to long range, but both teams said screw it, and they're gonna go full brawl.
I like that. That is pretty cool.
Me too. Will you take the red team?
Yes, I'll take the red team. Excuse me, I had to turn on the sound again. Couldn't have Batwarren talk too much. Alright, first red ship is a narwhal. It is a Hawacha fish with Gatling and Carronade. Gatling on right side. Piloted by Captain Scoreboard, Scrowbeard. His ally is the Ephemeral Moth. I'm still working on it. Apparently I say it right sometimes. It's a Metamidian piloted by Merwin with Gatling mortar front, with a Banshee and Flare on the side. Over to you, Tutu.
Yeah, because we have no boss.
Yeah, first
So
time.
for the circle in the sand, we have the number 3, the Dragon's Rage. It's a Hwacha fish with a double Carronade side. Ship number 4, it is George W. Bush. It's a all Carronade fish, piloted by Narayan, and Dragon's Rage is piloted by Xilion.
Alright, so it seems that blue team, the Circle of the Sun, is trying to take advantage of the ribs, while red team is fully aware that they're over there. They don't seem to be too enthusiastic about engaging on them yet.
Yeah, interesting play. It's not like you get to observe brawling on dunes every day.
Absolutely. I like this whole idea that you get to brawl on dunes. It does give pilots a lot of maneuverability, not have to worry about cliffs and like ribs and stuff. Although there are ribs here, but it seems that red has won the waiting game. Blue is engaging upon them. Seems that the first target will be the GW Bush. Dragon's Rage coming in with the Hawacha on the Ephemeral Moth, taking out all
A
engines.
devastating
and
Hwacha. All engines and only mortar stayed up, I think.
Yes, only the mortar. For the Narwhal is coming in to save his ally. Getting a hull break on the Dragon's Rage. Now the George Bush is turning for the Narwhal. This is a nice circle we have here.
Yeah, this is gonna be a long, weird and messy match. I already predict that.
Oh god, the Ephemeral Moth is stuck in tar now.
Yeah, he was disabled anyway. I mean,
Now the Goldfish is
if you want to get stuck in tar, you might just as well do it when you expect a Hwacha.
Not like he's gonna stop the Hawacha. But it seems that they're locking down the Ephemeral Moth, and Narwhal will have to try and disable the Dragon's Rage before being balloon popped by the GW Bush. So
yeah, and we see all the Carronades that work here. The circle in the sand is slowly and constantly gaining the height advantage, bringing the match closer and closer to the ground.
and that is what they want.
Yeah. And also, they managed to separate the teams again. So basically each goldfish is fighting its own one-on-one now.
Though I gotta say, the Gatling on the Narwhal is doing a good job keeping the hold down of the GW Bush. And so far, red team does have the health advantage over blue. The poor Ephemeral Moth just stuck in everlasting Hawacha fire. He won't be able to survive much longer like this. At some point he'll either hit the ground or his hull will break in a Hawacha shot.
Yeah, but you should never feel safe against a Metamedian. One mistake, one lucky break, and you will take an insane amount of hull damage.
That is true. Seems like the Narwhal is
But
coming back to help his ally.
incendiary Carronades on the Dragon's Age have started to really pay off now.
Narwhal zooming past without a balloon.
Yeah, but look, if Aaron Mod has 8 stacks of fire, if the Hwacha comes out now, he will take armor and a huge chunk of hull with it, as we can see it now.
Yep, that was almost deadly. At this point, the Federal Moth can't really do much. Engines are too
Narwhal
damaged.
is grinding. George Bush is simply lining for the Goomba. Here we go, and then Goomba stomp. Boom. First kill, blue.
And now they have the kill advantage too. It was looking pretty well with the health, but seems that they did take control of the situation, the two fish, and kept it that way from engagement. At this point, the George W. Bush doesn't seem interested in the ephemeral moth. They seem to just let him live, probably looking to force a meat grind or maybe a 1v1. But the narwhal spawned in nice and close.
We have everybody get into the positions delay, and let's see how the Narwhal will move. He's going for the Dragon's Raid. And George Bush is got quite far away, so there is a chance they may be able to save the Paramedium here.
Oh, the Pyramidion, no balloon, no hole, they're going
if
very
it touches,
close.
oof.
Oh, he's fine, he got the hole
What
on
a
back
save.
in time. Good stuff. He doesn't have a balloon yet though.
However, now the Narwhal is caught basically in a 1 versus 2 before the Paramedium can re-engage.
They are taking their time with that balloon.
They probably had everyone on the hull, so they survived.
Yeah, I believe so too. There we go, they get their balloon back up. That is dedication to staying alive.
Yeah. But now everything is as it was before. Dragon's Rage on the Ephemeral Moth. Oh, they have their guns pitched. We'll be able to land some mortars.
Not with this balloon, they will not be able to stay in arc for very long.
But they bought some time, nevertheless. However, the balloon goes down now.
George W. Bush was hull broken for a short second there. Did lose a bit of his health, but a significant amount. Nice ramming and popping the balloon at the Narwhal, getting superiority again. I gotta say this, Ephemeral Moth is having a very, very tough day today.
But he's staying alive, nevertheless. I've noticed something interesting at the Narwhal and George W. Bush. Both are running without buffed engines. But George Bush manages to Goomba stomp the Narwhal. And now again, 2 versus 1. Eventually, once Bush gets around. Dragon's Rage just playing with the Ethereal Moth at this point.
I mean, on one hand he's definitely taking his time, but on the other hand he probably would be able to kill him earlier. Oh, it's so close. If he would
do it
either
now?
ram or had a Gatling or a flamethrower.
This is just like a Fight Club match, just brutal, nonsensical violence. And I'm loving every second of it.
Welcome to Conspicuous.
Yeah. When we kill each other and we need no reasons.
There's a Gatling in play again.
But also on the Ethereal Moth we can see also the inexperience of the Paramedian. He could be able to use the Dune to force the Dragon's Rage in front of its guns and have both front guns repaired. So he will be able to unleash a hell of a lot DPS on the Dragon's Rage. But it's either inexperience, lack of communication, that he is not using that option for some reason.
I gotta say though, his crew is doing a very good job keeping him alive. So far he hasn't died once.
Yep. Excellent engineering.
I'm sure Excidian is getting impatient. Now we're coming back to save his ally. With the balloon popped again. This is deja vu again. Oh, this might be it. Oh, okay. The no moth is still alive. Is it gonna be a carronade kill? Oh god.
Nope.
Nope.
They survive, but I think next Watcher will finish them off.
Back to Narwhal, who's now on the floor without a hole, and he's down again.
And Moth still
hanging
alive.
on by the
Carronade
thread.
kill, Carronade kill.
There we go.
Carronade kill.
Oh, that was a long. He survived a long time there. So,
So, how
pretty
many
well done.
potatoes do you think were flipped during that engagement?
Oh man, he must have just been spamming it, like copy paste the entire way.
And Circle's Descent is running back into the rips. No, actually they're splitting. They're scouting now.
I mean, at this point, these Chaladonians probably thinking about a new tactic, something that may get them at least 1 or 2 kills. It's gonna be interesting to see what they do, because personally, I'm not sure how to counter this at the moment. You would need to be able to kill one fish to kill the other, or you need to be able to team up on one of them so fast that the other one will not be able to get there in time.
No, to win this, you simply need to blend the bush. If you destroy the bush's balloon, bush will die.
If you say so. It's funny, they're right next to each other. They haven't seen
And
each
they
other.
don't see it. Yeah, the thing about fighting teams with blenders, with another blender, is you simply destroy one of their balloons and then everyone simply goes down. And it's a fair race who will get who first.
Right, so you would suggest bringing a carronade and an Artemis or something on the Pyramidion? Or another blender fish?
I think that the Narwhal should utilize its carronade more. You should go straight for one of the goldfishes, ram it into the balloon, and then keep carronading it. So preferably the Huacha fish, so that then the Pyra can either one-on-one the blender fish or assist against the Dragon's Rage. This is how I would try to pull it.
It's an interesting tactic. But you're not part of East Chaladonian trading companies, so we don't know what's gonna happen.
No, we don't. Makes it fun. So now we have a classic Pyramidion goldfish standoff where everyone was hesitating to move for a couple of seconds.
And the Pyramidion turns for the George W. Bush who passed by, giving Dragon's Rage the perfect opportunity to shoot at their engines. Basically putting Ephemeral Moth back in the situation where he was before. No engines, no guns. Okay, well, he has one engine still. And barely a balloon. Narwhal comes back to try to save the Dragon's Rage with the Blenderfish behind him. So this is deja vu all over again.
But the
Narwhal
Huacha went again for the Narwhal, which means that Ephemeral Moth will have a couple of seconds to bring his front guns to bear against the bush. Can they do it? They have angled. Double Gatling mortar going.
There we go.
And kill.
Now the question is, will they be able to get the Dragon's Rage before he decides it's too late and he has to get out of there? Or will the Dragon's Rage stay in a 2v1?
Dragon's Rage is going full on Narwhal. Let's see how this goes. Even for now, great work for the Dragon's Rage, managing to survive that.
He will be retreating now.
And also only 5 minutes left in the match. This has to be the longest brawling match ever.
It is 2 fish after all.
Yeah.
although it is a lot of fun to watch. It's very interesting, especially because also I like flying a fish.
George
Seems
Bush
like
is racing in.
they're passing away from George Bush, but the good thing is once he does catch up, he will have the advantage by being
Especially,
behind the enemies.
especially since the red team is unable to put some damage to the Dragon's Rage's balloon, so he will keep the maneuverability.
Seems like the Fenrir Moth wants to go for the Dragon's Rage this time. That might be a good way to switch it up.
But he's
Half his
paying.
health already.
He's paying for it.
Going through a bit of tar. Still has his
Ooh, and a
engines, most of his
completely
guns.
boss Hwacha from the narwhal. This could be the turning point. Although
One more mortar on the bush.
one more
Be done.
Gatling on the bush and it will be done.
Not one more Gatling.
One more anything.
No, no. The Ethereal Moth survived for pretty long with that much health. Using a break of the narwhal. And a break.
Dragon's Rage lost both side guns. Might give some time to the Feral Moth.
Now we're back
No,
to
too late.
the old thing. Back to what it was before. Just that the George W. Bush has so little health that if he does one mistake, he may lose that 1v1.
But will he? Because he is a perfect Goomba stomping position. And Narwhal is already feeling the pain. Yep, Narwhal
Skidding across the desert.
has his back turned towards a blenderfish. This won't end well. Although he managed to get some height. Let's see if they are tanking balloon. They are.
Seems the Ephemeral Moth finally got hull broken. Lost about 75%
And
of his health.
a costly hull break.
Maybe 80. Well, it's still hull broken, or back to being hull broken, and balloon popped. Desperately trying
Also-
to come back to save his ally.
Narwhal surviving surprisingly long, but now he's poised for a Goomba. Ram incoming.
A double team by the fish.
Sandwich.
Nope.
No,
Very
missed
sloppy
sandwich.
sandwich.
Too much mayonnaise.
If the narwhal manages to survive for long enough, Sentinel Moth can come in for a kill, but I think this is it.
And it's over.
Aye, well,
Oof, that was the longest brawl.
it was a good brawl though. A lot of outsmarting and outflying.
And violence. Especially
yeah.
violence.
What did you say before? It was meaningless violence?